Hello guys, welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. I hope you are all doing well. I am here as your host. As always, my name today is Carlos Tevez. I hope you are all doing well. We're here for the West Ham versus Sheffield United preview. But before we do get into it, make sure you do hit that like button. Let's see how many likes we can get today. Can we get 25 likes on today's video? That would be greatly appreciated if you can smash that like button. Subscribe to West Ham Unofficial if you are new. As you can see by the ticker below, just there as it's going across, 1,158 subscribers. We are on the road to 2,000 subscribers. So please hit that subscribe button if you are new. But without further ado, before we do get into it, West Ham Online's fans, afternoon, mate. Hi, mate. Good afternoon, mate. Hope everyone's having a nice Valentine's Day. I've done absolutely nothing. But anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling. Please see the video here on Canning Town Len. Check him out using the link in the description. Canning Town Len is your best place to buy custom portraits that you can buy on the internet. Canning Town Len does animated portraits like this one he did for me up here. They're absolutely fantastic and I couldn't recommend them enough. So just some ones that he did for me. I've got this one here outside the London Stadium. I mean, it looks just like me, really. The best possible kind of animated portrait, kind of animated cartoon kind of picture I could hope for, really. They're absolutely amazing and they are so realistic, look exactly like me, and they are very good to buy. So make sure you do click the link in the description down below to buy a portrait from Canning Town Len. I'd highly recommend them. Click the link in the description down below. He does animated portraits, non-West Ham related, West Ham related, lots of different backgrounds, any shirt, any background. You can basically customize it to your absolute kind of needs and what you exactly want. So click the link in the description down below to check out Canning Town Len. Come on, your irons. And today for the preview, obviously check out Canning Town Len using the link in the description. Today we did have a Sheffield United fan, but he unfortunately had to pull out. So we are joined by a trio of West Ham fans, joined by Mike and James. Good afternoon, boys. How are you?
Afternoon, yeah, fine, mate. You?
Yeah, not too bad. James, you okay?
Yeah, I'm all good, mate. I'm all sound.
Yeah, well, you should be happy that you're today joined by Carlos Tevez. So, you know, the English Carlos Tevez, because I can't do an Argentinian accent. But FIFA Career Mode Official. Hi Jake. Hi mate. Hope you're well. Nice shirt. Thank you very much, Tom. West Ham Online fans, I'm just wondering, mate, are you using StreamYard? Yes, we do use StreamYard to do pretty much everything on this channel. But so let's get into it then. So Sheffield United tomorrow, but just before we talk about tomorrow's game, I'm just going to put this picture up here and leave it up for a couple of seconds. There we go. There we go. So let's get into it then. James, we'll start with you. Are you confident going into tomorrow's game?
I wasn't, but the way the fixtures are coming about, it's going to depend on what West Ham turn up tomorrow. If the new West Ham turn up, we should roll Sheffield United, no problem. If the old West Ham turn up, this will be a 1-0 Sheffield United or a draw. So to me, I would say I will stick with me 1-0. I think the 120 minutes the other week, Antonio not being fit, not having a recognised striker at the club at the minute. I think it could be a draw. Sheffield United are fighting for their life, and basically, like West Brom have just got a draw against Man United. If Fulham get something later on, then Sheffield United will need to get something. So I think it's going to be it's a tough game for us, really.
Yeah, well, Mike, they are fighting for their lives down there, and they need every point they can get their hands on. So it's going to be tough. But we'll get on to the injuries and how that will impact in a minute. But you're confident because they are fighting for their lives and they need every point, don't they?
That's going to be a toughie, like I say. You know, I think Sheffield United, obviously, they need the points more than we do. But, yeah, they're in a bit of form, aren't they? They've had a run of good results. So we're going to have to be on our A game again. But we have tended to bounce back after disappointing results this year. So let's hope we do it again tomorrow.
Yeah. So the injuries that have hit us from the FA Cup game is Angelo Ogbonna missing, they're saying 5 to 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. A massive loss that's going to be. But James, that's the one area we can afford to lose a player in because we have got a few centre-backs. But Ogbonna, he's an absolute he's the rock in our defence. And I think we'll miss him, but it's not an absolute calamity, is it?
Well, we've got about 6 defenders at the club, but no striker. So yeah, Ogbonna's been massive for us. Like for the last 5-6 years since he's been at the club, a lot of people many years ago didn't want him at the club. They said get him out of there. He weren't doing it. But over the last, say, 18 months, 2 years, he's come on leaps and bounds. He's got better and better. He is a miss. And I'll hold my hands up and say that he's definitely going to be a miss there. But it all depends on what system he plays tomorrow night. If he plays 3 at the back, I liked Kufal and Cresswell back there. I thought they had Man United at bay. It's just that we had nothing going up front. If not, if Diop is fit, get him in there. Or even play Diop, Balbuena and Dawson and have Kufal and Cresswell as your wing backs. There's lots of options in the defensive aspect. So we're all right in that position. But obviously, Ogbonna is a miss.
Yeah. Oh, well, let's talk. Let's kind of break it down then, Mike. So, what would you prefer to see tomorrow night? Because we've got options there: back 3 or back 5 for you. I'm sorry.
I think like James, we
three.
might go to a back 5 again. And I thought Johnson had a great game the other night, and he could do well at left wing back, and you could put Cresswell back into the back 3. So there's options, isn't there? Like I said, we've got plenty of cover defensively. It's just what we're going to do at the top end of the pitch, isn't it? Really, where Lindegaard plays at false 9 and what I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I don't think we've got to worry too much defensively. Is how we're going to set up to get the ball at the top, keep it at the top, and play some attacking football.
Yeah. Well, for me, I'd like to see Diop come in, give him a chance. I mean, there's a lot of kind of quality set on that bench for us. For me, give Diop a go. I prefer to see us go to a back 3 and go Dawson or back 5. To be fair, there's lots of options. You could go Sufal, Cresswell. I'd like to see Johnson get a game in the left wing back position. But there's lots of things he could do, isn't there, James?
100%. Like, one thing we have got at the club is multiple amounts of defenders. Like we've got defenders. We're only lacking one left back because obviously Mazawaku's injured and Cresswell is the only left back at the club. But Johnson can play right back. He is naturally a right back player, but he's playing on the left hand side. So we've got options there. We've got options there. It all depends how he wants to go for it. If he goes 3-5-2, Sheffield United will come out 3-5-2 because they play with wing backs. They always play with wing backs. Sheffield United will probably set up in that sort of way to keep us at bay and try and nick a 1-0. Like if you're expecting this game to be a 5-goal thriller, I'll be stunned if there's 3 goals in the match. So yeah, it all depends. If he wants to set up in an attacking formation, he'll play 4-2-3-1. That's what he'll play. But if he goes more conservative and wants to have a bit of width, then 3-5-2 is the option. It just depends if Diop is fit enough, and if he trusts him and all, because he hasn't really trusted Diop this season. And obviously with Ogbonna there and Dawson there, you've had a rock solid defence, and now that's been broken there. So it's going to be interesting to see how we go from there.
Yeah. I mean, it's really going to test Moyes' kind of way he's going to go about it as well. But a couple comments. We did that one, didn't we? Marcus said, "Hi, mate. Unable to watch as I'm working at a hospital in Cochrane. Thank you for doing what you're doing. And thank you for tuning in quickly. There you go. Also, congratulations, James, on the birth of his show this week. Well done, James, mate. You're making your way around with the shows now."
No, at the end of the day, I've done 2 this week. Like I'm a football person. Don't get me wrong. I bleed claret and blue, and I love West Ham till the day I'm not here no more. But as a football man, I like football. So yeah, the shows are all right, mate. Right, I'm to crack on and see how they get on. Do you know what I mean? And go from there.
Yeah. Hi, Jack. Thanks for joining us. So let's go in terms of Sheffield United. We'll come back to our attacking options in a minute. But Sheffield United, Mike, who do you fear from that side?
I don't know. I think it's like James was saying. They always sort of play with 3-5-2, and it's the wide men. The fullbacks. And I rate the wide men they got. Up front, there's usually McGoldrick, is it? And You know, what they had last year was they played like us. You know, they had unity and then played as a team. You know, and that sort of they were losing confidence because they kept losing and losing. But now they've got that unity back together, I think, with this run of results. And I think not one player do I fear really from Sheffield United. It's just the fact that they've got that back together where they're starting to play as a team again. And, you know, they like to play, you know, down through the flanks. They also sort of like the wing backs also cut inside as well. And they can cause problems. They really can.
Yeah, well, the player watch I've gone for this week, I've gone for David McGoldrick. A couple of stats. 21 appearances this season, 5 goals for Sheffield United, 33 shots, 16 on target, 48% shooting accuracy because he's only got 1 assist, and I couldn't put 1 assist up, could I? How important is he for Sheffield United then, James? Do you think he's going to be a threat?
Not really him, if I'm honest. I think Oliver Burke, is it? The Scottish lad, he's very lively.
Yeah.
You don't go and play for Leipzig and go over to Germany if you're not that good. And I think he's a bit handy. I like their midfield. I like Lundstrom in there. I like Fleck in there. I think Fleck's a good player. He don't really get a lot of mention, but he's a good player. Egan at the back for them's a good player. Good centre half, solid with Basham. They're an old school, old-fashioned Premier League team. When you look at Sheffield United, they're not fancy. They've not got anyone slick in there. They've got Bogle in there. Is it Bogle? He's a good player. Yeah. And you've got Baldock as one of their wing-backs, who's not bad either. So they've got a couple of... They've got a couple of decent lads in there who do a job. But they've got a good manager. And one thing I will say about Sheffield United, I'm pleased that they've stayed with Wilder. I think he's a decent manager. He's a good manager. I just think they've been very unlucky this year. They've had games where they've had chances to win and they've ended up drawing or losing. And it's always been one goal in it. Like they've played teams like Man United and they only lost 3-2 at home. Man City, they only lost 1-0 at home. So they've always been one goal in it. So they're in that situation really because they haven't really seen games out, so to speak. So, yeah.
Yeah. So let's move on then. So, Mike, how do you think this game's going to pan out? Do you think we're going to have possession in this game? What do you think is going to happen? How do you think it's going to pan out?
Yeah, I think we should have a fair bit of possession. There's not going to be a goal fest, is it? No way. I mean, you know, it could be a 1-0 either way, I reckon.
Yeah.
If we can, if we can just get ourselves on the ball and we get Lindegaard into the game, you know, we have looked really good in some of these games, like the likes of Crystal Palace. You know, we've really knocked the ball around and played some great football. But I see this as being a bit of a midfield bunch-up battle, you know. Sheffield United, to be honest, they have the 3 teams down the bottom. They're the team I fancy that could probably get out of it, to be fair to them. Basically because this little run they got going recently. But I think they're equipped to get themselves out of it. But the problem is the gap now between them and the 4th and bottom place team, which is, you know, it's a bit huge, isn't it, really? So what's it, 10, 12 points? I mean, that means someone's got to lose 3 or 4 games in a row and they've got to win 3 or 4 in a row. And that's going to be really tough.
Yeah. Couple comments then. Jack said, just seen Man U draw with West Brom. Yeah, maybe off. Snoddy played well. Yeah, he did. He did. There you go. Snodgrass, yellow card. Yeah, that was thanks to Gio. Well done, Gio. Jake, just seeing you call off Teva's name. Thank you very much. I'm glad somebody noticed it. So let's move on then to our attacking options. Now, James, what options have we got going forward, and what would you like to see happen?
It's an hard one, mate. If I'm honest, if Antonio's not fit, don't play him at all. Like at the end of the day, I'd rather have Antonio next week against Spurs than against Sheffield United. I'd rather go, you know what, leave him and put Bowen up there. Out of all the options, that is the only one I can see. You can't put the young lad in because you're asking a lot for an 18-year-old lad to come on the pitch and lead the line for West Ham United Football Club. It's an hard job for a normal striker. So for an 18-year-old, he's going to be treble that. So me personally, the 4 I would go with up front would be Ben Rama one side. I'd have Fornells as the 10. I would have Lingard the other side, and I would have Bowen up front. Like, you've got movement there. The only problem with that is you can't cross balls into them because there's no height there. Do you know what I mean? And there's no power in the air there. So and the problem is with that also, if you try and go through the middle of Sheffield United, then it's easy for them because they play with 3 centre halves. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does there. Obviously, I think Bowen would be the ideal option. If Antonio is fit, then great. If he's not, leave him till Spurs next week. That's what I would say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, James mentioned it there, Mike, that then we can't cross balls into the box, and we'll still cross balls into the box for Ben Rama. And we had that chance against Man United, didn't we? If anybody but Ben Rama, I mean, it was offside anyway. But if we would have just had Souček there, I mean, Moyes could tell Souček to push up kind of the role that he played in the Man United game, but then that leaves just one kind of holding central midfielder. It's a bit of a central defensive midfielder. It's a bit of a puzzle that he's got to piece together of what he's going to do, hasn't he, Mike?
It is, but I agree with James. Really, that's what I'd go with. I'd try Bowen out there. Bowen's he's not really been on it the last 2 or 3 games out there on that right flank, cutting in on his left. Normally he gets a little bit of space and he can weave through and beat 1 or 2 and come across, cut back in again. He's not been doing that, but I still rate him. I really do like him as a player. And I think he played up front for Hull a bit. I'm not sure. Yeah,
so, that's 100%. Yeah, he did.
So I think it's got to be worth a crack. Well, I'd go with them front 3, that front 3 for sure. And like I say, someone like Fornells just in behind, and then obviously you've got your 2 midfielders behind them. I think we got maybe he will sort of play them interchanging, you know, and getting maybe Lingard and Ben Rama just to, you know, change positions all the time, you know. And I mean, it's difficult when you play a team like with a force nine. It's difficult. You've got, you know, Man City can do it because of the class that they've got on the ball. You know, they can move the ball so quickly and so confidently pass it so confidently amongst each other. But for the centre halves, and especially like Sheffield United, 3 centre halves, and they've not got anyone to pick up, you know what I mean? It does cause confusion, and then maybe that's when we can get the little gaps and get in behind them. Like I say, there's no point in crossing balls into the box because we ain't got anyone that's really gonna contest their 3 centre halves in the air. I don't think. Yeah.
So I think this could be kind of he's had a lot of stick, Bowen, on social media. He's come up, he's joined us. Craig Dawson usually joins us, but Bowen's joined us today. And for him, he could come in and he could do really well in that striker position. You never know. Right, so let's get on to the most exciting part. We've dissected the game. Let's go on to predictions. Now I'm going to do my prediction first because somebody always takes mine. Somebody always takes my prediction. So I'm going to go with a 3-1 West Ham win. I'm confident that we're going to go out there, and I'm confident that there's goals in our side with Souček playing Lingard, playing Ben Rama. I think for me, there's goals in the side. 3-1, 2-1, something like that. I think there will be a few goals in this, but it just depends whether it's going to be kind of like hold it out, or kind of we're going to kind of take control and get the goals on the board. Right, let's take some of your predictions before I come on to your guys' ones. 2-0 Hammers. Lawrence is saying 2-1. Irons Dad is saying 2-0 West Ham. Jack's going. Tom's gone 2-1 West Ham. Souček and Ben Rama. If I keep saying Ben Rama, I will surely get right one day. Yeah. Peach is saying 3-1 West Ham. Who else has put a comment in? Ben's gone 2-0 West Ham. Bowen and Creswell to get the goals. Creswell, he goes a bit unnoticed. Let's just mention him, James. He goes a bit unnoticed, Creswell, doesn't he? Because he doesn't score. But he's very important down that left-hand side.
I think he's improved, mate. I think he's improved massively since Moyes has come back to the club. Because a couple of years ago, he was another one everyone was baying to get out of the club because he had his injury and he just lost form completely. But yeah, I think he's performing a lot better now. He's getting the crosses in. The only problem is now there's no aerial threat there now, so them crosses are going to have to be along the ground. But going back to what you were saying about Bowen, Bowen is a sort of lad. I think he needs this role now, like up front, because he thinks about the ball. He don't even look up when he's playing. Like he's just automatically shoot on sight. So this might be a bit of a blessing in disguise to push him up front and go, you know what? When you do get a chance, you ain't got to think about it. You just got to let it go, basically. So, but going back to Cresswell, I think he's been brilliant this year. I think he's been first class. I think he's been one of the best left backs in the league. Like if he was to name the top 5 left backs, I think he'd be in there. He's got loads of assists for us this year from that defensive position. And I like him when he goes back to a free. I think in that free, I think he's brilliant. I think I don't think he's got the legs anymore as a wing back, but as a free, 100%. If West Ham was playing that system permanently, like I'd have him in there all day long as a free.
Yeah. Take a couple more comments. Charlie Boy says Sheffield United have 51% of possession last time they played. They have 5 shots on target to our 3. We won 1-0 Haller goal. Yeah, that was a great Haller goal. But moving on from that geezer, they had 5 shots. But I mean, I don't care about possession if I'm being honest. I absolutely hate it. But the goals that count. Anton's in the house. Good afternoon, mate. Hope you're well. My main man Jake, keep up the good work. Why? I thought your main man was Stell, Anton. Isn't your main man Stell? 2-1 West Ham. Yeah, 2-1 West Ham. Charlie Boy's going 1-1. West Ham online. Sheffield reminds me of a toilet. Fair enough. But so let's get on to your predictions then, because I don't think we did them. Come on then, Mike, hit me with your prediction, and you can't steal my prediction this time.
What was your prediction again, Jake?
2 or 3-1. I'll go 3-1.
Oh, you can't have 2 and 3-1. Can
No.
you can't have one of the other.
2-1. I'll go.
You go 2-1. I'll go 1-0 West Ham.
That is a classic Moyes performance. That is. James, prediction.
I'm going to go 1-1, mate. I think this is a draw for us on Monday. I think they're tough. They're going to come and they're going to sit, and we're going to find it hard to break them down. It wouldn't surprise me if Sheffield United nick a goal first and we score an equaliser. But that could change within the first 20 minutes. If we come out and we get a goal early, we could roll them quite comfortably. So I'm going to say 1-1, right? But I think if the Fulham go and get something today, like West Brom just got something, Sheffield United will be definitely up for it 100% because they're still in it. They've still got the fighting chance. So I'm going to say 1-1. Yeah.
Anton's going 1-0 and West Ham Online's going 1-1. James, James, you sure you're not controlling the count? I'm controlling that account at the moment. Oh dear. So that is Jack says here, we need to get an early goal. And yeah, I think if we do get an early goal, I think this could turn out to be a quite a nice Monday evening. But Mike and James, thank you very much for joining me. And Mikel Antonio is joining us, and so is Craig Dawson. We've got a few more. Thomas Soucek is here as well, and is Jared Bowen. So thank you very much for joining me this afternoon. James and Mike, and have a good rest of your Sunday.
Thanks, mate.
Thank
you very much.
Thank you.
Ta-da.
So that'll do it. Subscribe to the channel if you want to. As I said, we are on the road to 2,000 subscribers. So subscribe to the channel if you want to. And I will see you for a review of the game after the game tomorrow night. So subscribe. Thank you to everyone in the chat. And from me, Carlos Tevez, goodbye. A couple more comments though first. Richard Mushroom Man, thanks for joining us. Subscribe to the channel if you want to. I think 1-1 as well. Always difficult to play bottom 3. Yeah, and they always seem to be a bit of a kind of a stepping stone to kind of get over, really, aren't they? So that is it. Subscribe if you're new. Thank you to everyone in the chat today. Peach, Charlie, Boy, Anton as well, Tom, Dad, all of you guys. Thank you very much. FIFA career mode earlier as well. Thank you for commenting tonight. Thank you very much, Peach. And as Charlie Boy says, come on, you irons, and goodbye. Hang on, 2 seconds.